All right, as I'm cleaning this up, I'm noticing a lot of delamination of what looks like gel coat or barrier coat between that and the fiberglass. And one of the big things I noticed was, I know these boxes have a drain that drains, in case water gets around the seam or whatever and gets down in between the tank and the hull. The water is supposed to be allowed to drain out. Well, they got the hole there, but that nice clean area, there's a big old piece of foam blocking the stupid thing. So, it wouldn't surprise me if this thing would hold water for days and days and days on end. I mean, it was obviously getting out, but yeah, that was nice. Well, I guess this answers the question about my bulkhead issue. So, looks like I'm gonna have to cut that out and replace it. Which means the entire deck's gotta get cut out. That way I can access the other side, clean it all out, which means all the foam's gotta come out, and there's a lot more work ahead of me. Damn it. So after cutting the skin off to see how bad the inside was, apparently that's not a wood core bulkhead. It's foam. So I'm assuming it's Definicel, and there's another layer of glass on the other side of it. Only one way to find out. Okay, so apparently the people online weren't completely wrong. That's just one thin little layer of glass that I peeled off of there, and behind there is just foam. So apparently that is all foam all the way through there. Unfortunately, it's very wet, so it looks like I'm just gonna have to dig it all out of there, which still means I'm gonna have to cut that entire deck off. That sucks. All right, got the perimeter cut. I don't know how much of that pipe is there or what that is, but we'll find out as I tear this off. There was, in fact, another piece of wood. Thank you, Shamrock, for hiding more rotten wood for me. Wow, this was really rotten. Oh, that's bad. Ew. Wow. That's way worse than the pedestal. There's nothing left. Nothing left. Foam strong. Look at that. That's bad. There's your problem. Well, it's gonna have to be done, I guess, huh? All right, time to get that cleaned up and start getting some more foam out. I got a little bit more to clean up, but I got pretty much the whole port side, all the foam out. There's some pieces around this pipe and stuff. I gotta get the pipe out, get the rest of the foam out, clean up. But I just wanted to touch on something. I did this to get a look at the stringer, and I'll show you in a minute what the stringer looks like behind here, because I peeled some more back. And it looks like there used to be a piece of plywood back there, but it's all rotted out. But this is just like one layer of matte glass, you know, chopped strand. And it was like, it was just there to hold the plywood, and then all the heavy glass was on the inside, in the center. So I'm still gonna have to strip all this, cut it out, get all the bad wood out of there, and then, you know, put a new stringer in. Hopefully I don't have to go all the way up in the cutty, because that's going to be a bear. But it just, if it's got to be done, it's got to be done. But I wanted to touch base on something. There's a reason for doing stuff like this. You know, you get into a project and you don't think it's going to be that bad, or you see a couple little things, like the couple little pieces of wood that were underneath the glass were rotten. You know, I could have just replaced those, patched the glass right there on the deck, and went about my day. But at the end of the day, to do things right, you know, you have to get to the bottom of the problem and find all of the issues. After digging all the foam out, there's a stringer under here that I didn't know was here. And good thing I decided to do this, because the bottom of the foam was waterlogged. The top wasn't, but the bottom was. Where it was getting trapped, but it sat down here so long it seeped through this glass into this stringer and actually rotted it out. It's soft as a sponge, like there's nothing there. So I'm gonna have to cut that out and redo that. But there's a reason for taking time to do things right, because if I would have put this thing all back together, there's no way I would have got all the moisture out of there, and it would have just sat there and rotted those new pieces of wood eventually. I mean, granted, it would have taken probably another 20, 30, 40 years, but it still would have done it again. And if you want something done right, you know, I don't plan on getting rid of this boat. I love the thing. It sucks that I got to go through this, but it's an old boat. It needed it. So the plan for the rest of today is just going to finish cleaning this up the best I can without chemically like scrubbing it and washing it, and just scrape the rest of the foam out, get the pipe out. And just get it cleaned up, because it's close to the end of the day. And then hopefully tomorrow I'll get more time to do the starboard side. Same deal, I gotta drain the tank, pop the tank out. You know, I'm gonna have to do the same thing, I already know it. So, good thing is I can modify this and change it and do whatever I want with it. I may end up having larger fuel tanks built. It's looking like I'm probably gonna pull this V8 out and put my Cummins 12 valve in it. You know, I'm already this deep into the project. I'm already spending a ton of money. This is this engine's only got 650 hours on it, I think, something like that. It runs like a top. But my original plan with this boat when I bought it was to put a diesel in it, because even though it's not horrible on fuel, it doesn't hold enough fuel to get me very far with a gas engine. Like, I got 100 gallons of fuel. I could get, you know, I'm on the Treasure Coast. I could get from here to the Bahamas, but I would have to fill up as soon as I got over there in order to drive anywhere. And fuel over there is about 3 times as much, so it's super expensive. You don't want to have to buy fuel over there unless you absolutely have to. So my objective is, if I keep the same size tanks, I'll have a pretty good range on diesel. But if I can, you know, if I have to have the tanks remade, if they're corroded, and once I inspect them, I'm gonna go larger and get as much as I can, since there's no bulkheads or anything in the way. That way I can get a little extra fuel. It's not gonna hurt me weight-wise. That thing's gonna have plenty of power. And this thing isn't gonna sit any lower in the water. So that's the plan. All right, turns out, after peeling a piece off, even though this was like soft and squishy, I don't know what the hell it's for. It's all foam. If there's a wood core in there, I ain't found it yet. So I'm still gonna cut it off of there and redo it, but if anybody knows, let me know. It's an 84 shamrock. Like, I thought that was gonna be wood. You know, something structural that's like one layer of glass over top of foam. Snug as a bug in a rug. Shit. little piece of foam. This is weird. This wasn't in the other side. Look at all that loose foam. Interesting. All right. Time to get it cleaned out. There's 20 pounds right there. All right, start cleaning this side out. Ah, really? That sucks. You guys get the gist of it. I'm gonna do that, get all this foam out of here, and then we'll move on to the next problem.